Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be covering various IoT protocols. I will explain link layer, network layer, transport layer and application layer protocols. Guys, I have uploaded complete IoT subject tutorials. I'll provide that link in description. You can watch from there. If you are watching this video for the first time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Guys, IoT protocols are nothing but set of rules. By using that rules, multiple IoT devices can communicate each other and they can share data. So protocols are nothing but set of rules. These protocols ensure that data is sent correctly, safely and efficiently. It first of all explain what is the link layer. Guys, link layer is the lowest layer in the IoT communication model. In IoT communication model, total there are 4 layers: link layer, network layer, transport layer and application layer. In that, link layer is the lowest layer. So link layer is the lowest layer in the IoT communication model. It decides how data is transferred physically from one device to other device. Guys, whenever one IoT device want to transfer data to other IoT device, data can be transferred either by using wires or wireless. So how data will travel physically? It is decided by link layer. If you consider wire or wireless communication, they are hardware level communications. So this layer deals with hardware level communication. Guys, normally data is transferred in the form of zeros and ones. And this model will convert bits into electric signals or light signals or radio waves. So data can be traveled from one device to other device properly. So link layer will decide how data must be traveled physically from one IoT device to other IoT device. These are functions of link layer, and the first one is physical medium. Guys, link layer will decide physical medium, like the data must be traveled by using cables or optical fibers or radio waves. So link layer will decide physical medium. And second one is channel access. Link layer controls how multiple devices share the communication channel without collisions. Guys, communication channel means cable. Whenever multiple devices send data by using single cable, collision will occur. Whenever collision occurs, data will be lost. So by using link layer, multiple devices can send data at the same time without any collisions. And third one is bit to signal conversion. Yes, link layer will convert bits, that is in the form of zeros and ones, into signals like electric signals, light signals, radio waves, etc. These are 3 functions of link layer. Next I will explain important link layer standards. Our first one is Ethernet, IEEE 802.3. Guys, Ethernet cable is nothing but, if you consider CPU, backside of CPU will attach one cable in order to access internet. We call that cable as Ethernet cable. If we use internet by using cable, we consider that cable as Ethernet cable. So Ethernet is used for wired communication, and for Ethernet, we'll use cables like twisted pair cable and coaxial cable. And this Ethernet cable connection is stable and reliable. And normally we'll use Ethernet in offices, industries and labs. And second one is Wi-Fi, IEEE 802.11 standard. As we all know, Wi-Fi is wireless communication and it works on 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, etc. And Wi-Fi data ranges from 1 Mbps to 6.75 Gbps. And normally we use Wi-Fi in homes and small offices. And third one, cellular networks like 3G, 4G, 5G, etc. Cellular networks will provide long distance communication. And we use cellular networks in smartphones, IoT devices such as smart meters, GPS trackers, surveillance devices, etc. And we use cellular networks where Wi-Fi is not available. And fourth one is LRW PAN, where LR stands for low rate and W stands for wireless, PAN stands for personal area network. Guys, this personal area network will consume low power and low cost. And this network is used in Zigbee and other small IoT systems. And this data ranges in between 40 to 250 kbps. If you consider IoT devices which will work by using battery, this LRW PAN is suitable for the devices. And second one is network or internet layer. Guys, by using network or internet layer, data can be traveled from one IoT device to other IoT device when the devices are located in different networks. For example, one device is in UK and next device is in India. If 2 devices want to communicate each other, this communication is possible by using internet layer. So main job of network layer is to make sure that data travels from source to destination, even devices are located in different networks. A distance is very long, this layer will decide shortest route, that is nothing but best path in order to transfer data. Thus, network layer will not send complete data at a time. Instead, this layer will break complete data into small packets and then each packet is transferred by using shortest route. Thus, for example, if we consider any person, we can identify any person by using Aadhaar number. Similarly, each and every IoT device contains unique IP address. By using that IP address, one device can identify other device. So if this IoT device want to transfer data to this IoT device, then data can be transferred by using IP address. So network layer is responsible for IP addressing and as well as routing. Routing is nothing but finding shortest route in order to transfer data. These are functions of network layer. The first one is IP addressing. I already said before, by using IP address, one device can transfer data to other device and each and every IP address is unique. And next one is routing. Routing is nothing but selecting shortest route from source to destination so data can be transferred quickly. And third one is packet forwarding. Instead of transferring complete data at a time, network layer will break complete data into small packets and each packet is transferred to receiver by using shortest route. These are some of the main protocols in network layer. The first one is IPv4, where IPv4 stands for Internet Protocol version 4. Thus IPv4 is most commonly used internet protocol and the size is 32-bit. And this IPv4 can give around 4 billion unique IP addresses. That is nothing but this IPv4 can give IP addresses to 4 billion plus devices. But at present, devices are increasing. Devices are crossing billions. So all IPv4 addresses got used. So that is why IPv6 addresses are introduced, where IPv6 stands for Internet Protocol version 6. This is advanced version of IPv4 and its size is 128-bit. And this IPv6 support unlimited devices, like trillions of devices. As all IPv4 addresses are already used, that is why at present all devices are using IPv6 addresses, as IPv6 addresses are secure and will support modern IoT devices. And third one is IPv6 low PAN, where IPv6 low PAN stands for IPv6 or low power wireless personal area network. It is suitable for low power and battery based IoT devices. And these addresses are used by IoT appliances like smart home sensors and industry sensors. And third one is transport layer. Thus, transport layer is responsible for providing end-to-end communication between devices in a network. Its main job is to make sure that data sent from one device reaches the other device safely, correctly, and in right order. This layer controls how much data is sent, how fast it is sent, and how errors are handled. Thus, whenever senders send data through various routers, data will reach to receiver. These are various functions of transport layer. And the first one is reliable or fast delivery. Thus, transport layer makes sure that data reaches to receiver quickly. And second one is end-to-end communication. Transport layer will maintain entire path, so sender can send data to receiver without any errors. And third one is error control and flow control. Thus, whatever the data sent by sender, same data will reach to receiver. If sender send hello, receiver also receives hello. So data reaches to receiver without any errors because of transport layer. And next one is flow control. Yes, flow control means how much speed receiver can receive data. Only in that speed, sender will send data. This is meaning of flow control. There are some of the main transport layer protocols. And the first one is TCP, where TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. Thus TCP will make sure that data reaches to receiver correctly. For example, if receiver receives wrong data, then TCP will send the data again. So TCP resends lost or damaged packets. As data is resent again, accuracy is maintained. But TCP is used in web browsing, email, and file transfer. For web browsing, we will use HTTP protocol. For email, SMTP protocol. And for file transfer protocol. Guys, in TCP, before sending data, at first connection is established between sender and receiver. Only after establishing connection, data is sent from sender to receiver. As connection is established first, data will transfer to receiver successfully. So reliability is maintained. And TCP is slow because before sending data, at first connection need to be established. So TCP is slow. And second one is UDP, where UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. UDP is very fast when compared to TCP because without establishing connection, data is directly transferred to receiver. So UDP is connectionless, as connection is not established at first, so there is no guarantee that data will be transferred to receiver successfully. So we will use UDP in applications where speed is more important than accuracy. There are some of the common uses of UDP. The first one is video streaming, online gaming, and for real-time live tracking. In all this we will use UDP. And fourth one is application layer. This application layer is topmost layer in IoT communication model, and this application layer directly interact with end users. For example, if you want to access CCTV camera, then we need to install app. So we call that app as application layer. As application layer will directly interact with end users. Application layer will provide functions for communication, data sharing, data monitoring, and control. These are some of the main application layer protocols. The first one is HTTP, where HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. In order to access websites, we use this protocol. The second one is CoAP, where CoAP stands for Constant Application Protocol. This protocol is specially designed for IoT devices that will consume low power and less resources. It is same like HTTP, but it is lighter, and CoAP will use UDP protocol, so it is fast. And third one is MQTT, where MQTT stands for Message Queue Telemetry Transport. It is also a very lightweight protocol. If IoT device want to send data continuously, in that situation they can use MQTT protocol. This protocol is used by sensors, smart home systems, industrial monitoring, etc. And fourth one is WebSockets. This WebSocket protocol will provide full duplex communication. That is nothing but sender and receiver can send data at the same time. We'll use WebSocket protocol for real-time chatting, for real-time gaming, and also for live updates. If any device needs instant communication, in that situation, they can use WebSocket protocol. And there are also some other protocols like XMPP, that is nothing but Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol, and EDS, that is Data Distribution Service, and AMQP, that is Advanced Message Queuing Protocol. All these protocols are used by IoT devices that need fast communication and for devices which want to transfer data without any errors. This is diagram of IoT communication protocol where application layer contains HTTP, CoAP, WebSocket MQTT, XMPP, DDS and AMQP, and where transport layer contains TCP UDP protocols, and where network layer contains IPv4, IPv6, LoWPAN, and link layer contains Ethernet, WiMAX, Wi-Fi, and LRWPAN and cellular networks. This is complete diagram of IoT communication model.